We have a brand new social studies curriculum that we've been using since the start of this semester, and I have to say it is going really well. So I want to show you it. I want to do a little mini flip through and let's talk about it. If you're new here, I am Nikki. I'm a homeschool mom to an only child in 4th grade. Please hit that subscribe down below to help support my channel and the bell to be notified of any future videos of mine. So let's just talk about it. We are doing Discover Social Studies. And this comes with 2 books for the student, A and B. They're not very thick, and I believe there's, don't quote me because I am horrible at remembering these things. Okay, so there's 10 lessons in the first book. No, sorry, 36 lessons in the very first book of this, and then it does have a instructor's guide which we'll get into in just a second. So Discover Social Studies, I believe, I don't remember where I purchased this. It might have been Rainbow Resources. Anyway, I'll have a link for it down below. But this is, she loves it. She absolutely loves it. She's been blown away by some of the facts that she's reading in here, and I'm just here for it. So the thing that I've noticed the most about, first of all, this is a secular history program. So it's going to be, well, you know what secular is. It is in color. It is gorgeous. And okay, so I'm going to talk about how this kind of, the flow of this. Now, I believe the book recommends that you take multiple days over one lesson. I forget where I read that. But the teacher instruction manual does have like so many good nuggets in it. So there are 11 chapters and 71 lessons, being the last one being a review. This goes for auditory learners, visual learners, and kinesthetic learners. It has stuff to read on for all of those things, which is great. The flow is the only con of mine that I wish could be just a little bit better. I'm kind of one that likes to do one lesson per day. I don't like to spread out a lesson over multiple days. It's just me. It's how my brain is wired. And that's how we complete this curriculum. So for example, it starts off with vocabulary. Actually, you know what? Let me turn you around and we can talk while we look through one of the lessons so that you get an idea of what this curriculum looks like and if it's something that would be interesting for your family to pick up. So let's just do that. Okay, so really quickly, I just want to share what this goes over as far as content. So chapter 1 is the New World. We're going into Jamestown. We're going into the Pilgrims and all of that. Chapter 2 is a new country. We're going into the French and Indian War, the Boston Massacre, the Revolutionary War battles, people, symbols of the Revolution. Chapter 3 is the Constitution. We're going to go over everything that is the Constitution. Chapter 4 is building a democracy. The legislative, the branches, stuff like that. Chapter 5 is the explorations going to the west, the Louisiana Territory, Lewis and Clark, stuff like that. And then in book 2, we are doing chapter 6 is national growth and conflict, the War of 1812, transportation, the Monroe Doctrine, Chapter 7 is the American Democracy, John Quincy Adams, the election of 1828, Indian Removal Act, the issue of slavery. Chapter 8 is Growth in the East, railroads, canals, cities, farm lives. Chapter 9 is Expansion West, the Mexican-American War, the Gold Rush. Chapter 10 is Slavery. We're going to talk about the Underground Railroad, points of view, Abraham Lincoln, the division over slavery. Chapter 11, the final chapter, is on the Civil War. So let me now turn you around. Okay, so this is Discover Social Studies. This is the very first book that starts with the Pilgrims and stuff like that. I love how in the beginning of this it lays out what it all means, how to do it, and stuff like that. So it's going to have, it's going to have your instructor guide information. It's going to have planning your day. So this is where I saw it. So it says, as you begin, we recommend completing 3 pages on the first day, 2 pages, including the show what you know on the second day. And then in the reviews and assessments, we recommended completing 3 pages on the first day. So it's telling you how they want to do it. We do our own thing. So know that you can always customize and make this your own. But it gives you a breakdown. So it breaks down the lesson, how they see that you should be doing this. So it has the lesson overview, it has exploring, it has the direct instruction, read, write, practice, it has a show what you know section where they demonstrate what they learned, and then it has like a reinforce kind of learning extensions that kind of go into a deeper, like you can go in a little bit deeper. So it is really fun to read. She has really enjoyed this a lot. So as you could see, like lesson 1, it has vocabulary, and then it wants you to write the page number to where you actually found the vocabulary words. So I really appreciate and enjoy that because it keeps her engaged in the text to actually like look for things. So I feel like she remembers some of what she's reading a little bit more. It always has some type of closer look here. And then there's like an explore with a little activity on the side. And then it goes into the reading. Sorry, my table is so confined, so I'm having a little bit of trouble getting this all in since it's such a wide book. Okay. So then it moves on to the reading. So this can be a little reading intensive, but I haven't really found a history curriculum that is not reading intensive. But she does not mind that part because she really enjoys history. So it's going to have like a reader section, another closer look section, more reading, and then it has like a sentence to write. It has some kind of practice. And then there's a review section here, a think about it. It has a multiple choice and a like where you have to write it out. We discussed this out loud, so that is why it is not written. And then there is a online connection. So this is basically just like giving them ways to research. So finding out like what other plants and animals are indigenous in the Caribbean islands, and then list several. We didn't choose to do that, so but I like that the option is there. And then we're on to lesson 2. So it's the same type of flow where we have the vocabulary where she has to write the pages. It has, this one is a create. So you can create, they want you to try to create a timeline. This was like just an activity page, more reading. It has another create kind of thing, writing, reading, And then, you know, I love these take a closer look. We've done that a few times. If it's heavy in the writing, I don't always make her do the writing part of it, and we just discuss it, because we do a lot of other things that incorporate writing throughout our day. So it does have like a little bit of these review sections and think about it sections. And then this is more like review. And then it's showing what you know with the timelines and putting them in the order based on what they've read. It also has another online connection of choosing a person and learning more about them. So I don't know, we've really been appreciating this. Now, this was just the first book. We are taking our time. I think we're doing like 2 lessons a week, I want to say. But let me show you the instructor's guide. So, okay. I'll be honest, I don't use this a whole lot, but there is like a lot of good nuggets in here. Let me adjust here. This is a different size book. Okay, so as you can see, it's the same thing. This is going to go over all of your information. At least the teacher's guide is in 1 book, not 2, but it's going to have so many good nuggets in here. But I also noticed that a lot of the information that I thought would be in the teacher's guide was in the beginning of the lesson in the kids book, which is fine. I'm not complaining. But it has a lot of just like more information to go off of. Obviously, it has your answer key. It has how to support your student. It has the different learning styles like I was talking about. And like how to tie in the different learning styles to the lessons. So like for instance, for auditory, it says, may enjoy listening to a song or poem about a topic unique in the early colonies, indigenous people, Jamestown, England, or nature. And then it has visual and kinesthetic. Kinesthetic, may enjoy acting out some of the actions described to the reading, such as planting or building a fort, which is fun. And then, of course, more answers. It has just so much in here, guys. Like, there's so many things. And, like, we're going through the lesson. So it has all this awesome nuggets in here. So as you could see, it was, I think, 71 lessons. And then let's go to the back. We haven't really gotten to the end of a chapter yet, so I didn't really know what that was about. But it has like review, and then it offers like an assessment. And then I think it offers, if I saw correctly, a project. Yeah, so it has, this is an alternative one. So it has project, a requirement or steps to complete. Then it also has an alternate assessment rubric. So lots of good nuggets in here. I like it. So what you see is what you get. That is it. So it is literally just showing you the 72 lessons. And I'm not going to show you book B because it's literally just like book A. So we have really, I mean, we've just loved this. Like, it has just been really fun to get into and to read about the story. She was like, Mom, did you know? And she's showing me a picture that they used to put their hands in this thing, and they would get in trouble, and like, just like the different laws, like you would get fined if you didn't go to church, things like that, that she's just been like blown away by. And it's just been very engaging for her and fun. And we've just truly been enjoying it. So I wanted to share with you, this is what we're doing twice a week. One of the days she does it completely independently, and I pick like the things so that I make sure whatever she's doing, it's not something that she desperately needs me for. And then we discuss it, and she has no problem discussing this because she's like, she loves it. And then on the other day, I like teach and instruct like the first half of the lesson, and then some of the activities I feel like she's capable of doing on her own if we choose to do them. I do like that there's a lot So like you can kind of pick and choose which one you really like and go from there. You don't have to feel the need to do everything because there are multiple choice of things for you to be able to do. The other con is the price. This was pricey if I remember correctly. I bought this so long ago that I had forgotten because I thought we were going to split up our year and do science in the first half and then social studies, history in the second. And it didn't work like that. So we're doing science and social studies together. We're doing social studies twice a week and science twice a week. But I remember paying like over $100. I know that for sure. It was over $100. And I want to say you can buy them individually, but I also want to say that it comes in a set. Do I think that the instructor's guide is worth the purchase? I don't know. I don't really use it. I can get away with like, especially if I'm doing the lesson with her, like I don't necessarily need the answer key. And I know the type of learner that she is, so I can kind of figure out how to adapt to those things as well. So I think you can get away with the answer key or the instructor's guide if you don't usually go towards those in other curriculums. Then like I think you'll be fine. But it is sometimes nice to have it in case you need something, but it's history, so I feel like a good Google search can get you the same information. But it was expensive. But you know what? It is worth every penny when the child just loves something, and I'm going with it. I'm running with it, and we're just going to continue this for the remainder of 4th grade. And if we don't finish it, we will carry this into next school year as well, because you best believe I'm going to get my money's worth out of this. I do wish it was spiral. That's another thing that I just prefer spiral. It's not really about anything other than my preference. The books do seem like they hold up pretty well quality wise. The paper is good for like writing. It's not something where if you erase, sometimes like the paper will rip, or it'll show like where you erased, or sometimes it doesn't. You probably know what I'm talking about, but this is good paper. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad that we finally found something and we can get some history under our belt. It's not that we didn't like Curiosity Chronicles, because we used to use Curiosity Chronicles. It's just that we started feeling like the information was, the way it was written, even though it was in conversation form, was a little still going over our head, or not enough. I don't even know if that's the right word. I'll have to formulate more thoughts before I do like a full review on Curiosity Chronicles. But we are no longer using Curiosity Chronicles at this point. In fact, I took our timeline book and that we were using for that curriculum, and we are adding to it from there. I have thought about making stickers to make it more fun. I just haven't had time to do it. So that could be something you guys do, considering they suggested doing like a timeline. Again, it was a suggestion. It wasn't like you have to do these things, but we kind of like enjoy doing that. So if I find the time in my life to make some stickers, I will do that. Anyways, if you have questions for me, leave them down below, and I will see you in my next video.